Great. So let's just dive right in. So the first question that I'd like the two of you to answer, and of course I'll jump in with some of my own thoughts, really is around what is driving the need to invest in solutions that improve efficiency and productivity for financial advisors. So Awaad, can you weigh in, please?
Yeah, so I think you can think of this in two ways. First, you got to look at it at the industry level before looking at it at the technology level. So at a high level, there's a myriad of forces that are kind of influencing this change. On the investor demand side, there's greater demand for fee-based models, greater demand for omni-channel services and products. And at the same time, there's this large segment of younger investors who have this increased skepticism of active management, and they're very sensitive towards fees. So advisors are facing a lot of economic and pricing pressures. And on the regulatory reform side, you have Reg BI, MiFID, PIPEDA, you've all this data privacy regulation going into place. Reg BI more specifically is more around putting greater onus on transparency and conflict of interest. So that adds a lot of economic pressures on the advisors as well. And on the competition side, there's just a higher demand for high quality experiences that the competitors are also addressing through digitization quite aggressively as well. And so in order to remain competitive, a lot of wealth management firms are starting to really taking a good hard, long look in the mirror and trying to address some digital pain points that went unnoticed for far too many years, I'd say. So, I mean, those are all things everyone on this has probably already heard. So I don't mean to repeat myself, but I want to also discuss hard facts as to why technology is coming front and center more than ever before. There was a study conducted by Cat that looked at digital abandonment rates for onboarding over the last 4 years. And it found some pretty concerning trends, that there's been a 23% increase in digital abandonment when it comes to wealth management onboarding. And that just means that clients are simply just not putting up with poor user experiences that aren't frictionless and aren't digital end to end. And so I think that also puts onus on the advisor too, right? They have to put in more work to make sure that there isn't client churn. They have to put in more work to make sure they're addressing questions that clients have because they can't complete a simple process. And at the same time, they're also trying, in the midst of all this economic pressure, they're also trying to take on more clients. Unless you're like ultra high net worth or high net worth, like generally in terms of the value proposition an advisor offers, it's becoming commoditized in the sense not one advisor is going to offer you significantly more alpha than another. It's falling onto the relationship itself. And as advisors try to scale with more clients, that relationship, the quality of that relationship needs to be upheld. And so this is where automation comes into place. This is where digitization comes into place. It's the only way to scale and maintain the quality of service. So there's a lot more focus on freeing up advisor capacity to address clients at scale with the personalization and relationship building that will maintain their success.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I think I'll weigh in before we get to you, Andrew. So from my side, I completely agree with everything that you're saying. There's a lot of pressure on advisors, particularly post-pandemic when people are work from home. They need to continue great relationships with their clients without being able to see them in person. Also pressure, as you mentioned, for onboarding and finding new clients, lead gen, making sure that they're up to speed and up to date with what's happening in their prospect pool. And then a couple of other factors that I see. Number one, the average age of a financial advisor is north of age 60 now. And so that means a couple of different things. It means that there is significant pressure on firms to recruit and onboard new advisors and to be able to scale that where they have maybe inexperienced advisors, but also just taking a look at what their advisor workstation looks like in this competitive labor market. So having a great technology workstation can be a real advantage in terms of recruiting new advisors to your platform. So I feel that that is something that's also really important. And then for onboarding new advisors, besides onboarding new clients, just onboarding new advisors, the technology needs to be very user-friendly, needs to be singular and focused, all in one space, so advisors don't have to be toggling back and forth between multiple systems. And all of that will help, I think, position large enterprise firms in the race to really keep up with recruiting and keeping advisors onto their platform. So Andrew, in the wake of hearing all of those things, what do you see from your vantage point with your clients and prospects?
Yeah, I think you've touched on a lot of the main points so far, and ultimately, I think what we're really driving into in all of those topics is differentiation. At the end of the day, I think the sort of commoditization of both the product set and of technology to some extent means that advisors need to be able to find a way to make themselves look better than everybody else. So how can they win clients easier? How can they give a better experience, but also hold on to those clients that they already have? And I think we see those desires and those pain points coming through from the prospects and clients that I speak to. And the direction of what people are interested in has started to take a bit of a turn from maybe some of the traditional things we've seen in the last 10 years. I think people are a lot more looking for technology that can help them be a lot better informed when they speak to their clients. They know that there's all this technology and capability out there to provide more insights and information about their clients, about their relationships, around what's happening in the market. But being able to put your fingers on that quickly in a way that's personalized and relevant to that client is, I think, a challenge we hear a lot, and people are really looking to make investments into those areas for sure. And another area that's very similar to that is just spending less time on administration and getting things done. And I don't think this has changed probably for 20 years, to be honest. I think everyone always wants to be able to do things quicker. But I think people, advisors, clients alike, experience great technology journeys with everything in their lives, right? And I think that raises the bar for everybody in our industry, that advisors expect the same experience when they're doing their daily work, as do advisors. So I think being able to deliver that, making it easier to do things when I need to actually complete something for a client. And somebody did touch on it, I can't remember who said it, but also bringing things together in one place. I think there's still a huge challenge in the industry of people having to log on to different systems many different times, things timing out, but not getting that overview in one place of, here is everything that I need to know about my client, about their household, about their network, all the things that I should talk to them about when I'm speaking to them. So I think that's certainly what I see, but ultimately, compliance pressures, the reducing fees, the availability of technology is really just driving the advisors to, how can I be different? How can I hold on to my clients? How can I give a better experience and show my value?
Yeah, I mean, just sort of in summary, I guess for people outside of the wealth management industry listening to this, they might wonder, why is wealth management so far behind in digitalization? And while obviously the pandemic has been a global and personal tragedy for so many people, it's really shown a light, I think, on the importance of the wealth management industry, the importance that financial advisors can make in terms of their clients' lives. And I think all of that has been a real positive to driving digitalization and driving some of the things that we spoke about. So moving on to the second question.